Good evening and welcome to Estuary TV News. I'm Hugh Riches. This evening we'll be looking at big business in Market Raisin, and I'll be talking to Charlotte Byrne about high culture in Great Grimsby. But first, the news headlines with Richard Morris.
Hello, in the headlines today, we have an interview with the new parliamentary candidate for the Labour Party in Grimsby, and Cleethorpes Swimming Club is taking part in national competitions. Melanie On has been selected by Grimsby Labour Party members to represent the town at next year's general election. On hopes to restore public confidence in politics, and she wants to work locally with local people. She's also pledging to start a community housing scheme, and she wants to improve job opportunities for young people in the region. Estuary TV went for an interview with Melanie to get her reaction to the selection and to find out what she thinks of voter engagement in Grimsby.
It's amazing. It's quite a historic moment, I think. Obviously I'm aiming to make sure that Grimsby stays Labour in 2015, so to have a woman Labour MP in Grimsby I think would just be amazing. We do have a problem with voter disengagement, but we have such a huge range of different organisations and community groups, associated with church and multi-faith groups and various sectors in our local communities. So really what I want to do is try and reach out to those groups, get more involved, speak to those people who are involved in those groups and perhaps see why they don't feel that politics is for them. I think there's a broader issue in politics about people perhaps not trusting politicians, not trusting the system, but I do think that having a personal relationship on an individual basis can help to overcome those things. And I really want to see Grimsby be a success, whether it is through those groups or whether it is on a political front or engaging in the talent of all of our young people. I want to see Grimsby put on the map, so that's what I'll be hoping to do.
The demolition of a historic building in Hull is paving the way for a bright future for the city's fruit market. Wellington House will be demolished and it's still uncertain what will replace it. However, the legacy of the building will still remain at the site where it's currently based. It comes off the back of an announcement of huge investment for the regeneration of the Humber Street and the fruit market area. Hull City Council's Cabinet Member for Fruit Market Regeneration, Stephen Bayes, emphasised that while the building was being demolished, it was important to remember the heritage of these historic buildings.
Well, we're trying to keep as much of the fruit market, the central core of the fruit market, the same, because it's a very historic area of Hull. It's where clearly the fruit market was, and it's now growing into a small arts and cultural quarter of the city. And we're trying to keep it looking as much as it was when it was the active fruit market. So we'll be looking for a user to help develop the building. So it could be a restaurant, could be residential, could be a mixture of the two, could be some art use. So when the building's down, we'll then be looking at part of that as part of the joint venture with our preferred lead private sector partner.
Cleethorpes Swimming Club is taking its members to national championships all this week. The championships take place in Ponds Forge International Sports Centre in Sheffield. We spoke to the coach of the team and one of the medal hopefuls taking part in the competition.
We've had a very good start to my campaign here. We've been working with Cleethorpes for just over a year. We've restructured the programme, we've tried to be more technical. I'm very pleased how the swimmers are brought into the changes. We've developed our age group programme to be, I think, one of the top in the north of England now. We've got two hopeful medal chances with Nathan Wells and Billy Hendry. They've been training exceedingly well, they've made the changes very well, and hopefully they will take that to the pool next week and get their chance and get their results.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to nationals. Even though I'm there for like a full week, it should still be really good and I'm really excited. In most of my race I'm ranked like top 4, especially 400 and 1500, they're probably my best chances at getting the medal. I'd like to make it onto an international team and maybe this year get through to the next level of the England Talent programme, which I got on last year but never got through. So hopefully that should be my main goal.
The refurbished Beverley Community Museum has been reopened by the Chair of East Riding of Yorkshire Council, Councillor Pat O'Neill. The The refurbishment is down to a £20,000 grant from Arts Council England, which has allowed new lighting and a nicer feel to the overall exhibits. The Community Museum is free of charge to all visitors. Unfortunately, that's all we've got time for now. Goodbye.
Shopping habits are changing, and in recent years the high street has struggled to keep up with online retailers, supermarkets and retail parks, as well as trading in a worldwide credit crunch. That's why the government introduced the Mary Portas project in 2013, pledging £1.2 million to help improve Britain's most beleaguered towns and cities. Among them was Market Raisin, and after its share of investment and a visit from the Queen of Shops herself, it should be back on track. James Dunn went to find out how it's doing now.
It's been 18 months since Market Raisin got a cash injection from the government's Porters project aimed at reviving its dying high street. £100,000 later, we asked the community group set up to administer the money what's changed.
Obviously, we're just coming out of a long and very difficult period of trading, and I think it has been a struggle for a lot of businesses, not just here but all around the country. But actually, what we've seen over the past 2 years is that we've managed to begin to buck the trend of high street decline, and we could certainly see the green shoots of growth much earlier than a lot of other high streets.
One thing that is different is the business model used for many of the shops. We've had stores selling arts and crafts from a number of local artists. Some used community volunteers, meaning lower staff costs to help them through that difficult first year of trading. But is it enough for the people it's really meant to impress?
I think it's improved a lot, yeah. The Mr Big Market thing has definitely brought more trading to it. With the markets, when the market days and everything like that, they are getting more people in. And it's obviously get more footfall coming through the market and everything like that. So it's yeah, it is really improving it.
I'd say it's changed in the last 10 years.
How so?
For better. A lot more shops and everything around here. Loads of pubs for the young people and old.
Yeah, I think it's changed. It's a few years ago there was lots and lots of empty shops. It looks sort of a little bit run down. I think it looks a lot fresher, a lot busier, and just a lot better, really.
What it is basically is nothing, is it? Nothing's changed. Empty buildings, building societies. No new shops really to mean anything, is there?
Do you think it's any better?
No.
You get a lot more diverse shops as well, instead of just the normal cafes, bucket makers and that lot.
Do you think it's changed much?
Not a lot. Not as much as it could have with the money.
Many of the shops are pleased with the results, but believe that there's more work to be done.
The shops are starting to fill up now, which is brilliant. I think the problem is, Market Raisin, it'd been quite run down, and it takes, confidence amongst the shopkeepers and amongst the public. So it's going to take a little bit of time. Rome wasn't built in a day.
Yes, it's put the market back in Market Raisin, which has been very good, but it hasn't necessarily raised the footfall other than market days in the town. What we could do with is pushing the independents more. The lack of footfall is a national problem, it's not just Market Raisin. But if we push the independents and the fact that we can give a better or a really good customer service, and you can get things here you can't get in major towns, I think that would help.
But Mr Big stand by their claims that Market Raisin's High Street is now a more prosperous place. And they believe the improvements made are just a building block to move on to even bigger things.
In terms of funding, we were lucky enough not just to get the Porters pilot monies, but we also got a second round of funding from central government. We see that keeping us going for another 12 to 18 months, depending on how quickly we run through our projects. But looking ahead, a whole world of opportunities opening up to us now as the European funding streams come online. And we've been in contact with people in Lindsay Action Zone to really explore what those opportunities are for town. And as far as we're concerned, it's about having big ideas, developing innovative project plans, and then making sure that they're aligned to whatever funding opportunities are becoming available.
James Dunn, Estuary TV News.
I'm with Charlotte Bowen of the Culture House in Grimsby, which is organising a calendar of events in the town this summer. Charlotte, many thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
The first, or the closest event as we record now, is the Family Sunday in People's Park.
That's right, it's coming up on the 3rd of August, Sunday the 3rd of August, 11 till 4, and it features touring street theatre, live music and lots of other entertainment for families.
And people can just come along and lay out a picnic and
Yeah,
enjoy
sure.
a
Yeah,
day's
it's a
culture.
free event, completely free. There's some activities that you have to pay for, but nothing's expensive. There'll be some really high quality entertainment for the whole family, and you can spend up to 6 hours enjoying yourself in People's Park.
And there'll be a number of bands, a number of performers.
Yeah, with our work we tend to give a platform to local performers. So we've got a couple of bands, Sunny and Boo Boo, The Finest Hour, Mollamore and Tom Tree, all local but high quality. And then we've got a guest band from Hull called Shiznits, who are really folky acoustic band. So it's a really good mix.
And that's in People's Park this coming Sunday, August the 3rd, from 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And you have a few further events coming up in the park as well.
Yeah, well, the Family Sunday is kind of a launch event for the summer programme. And then on the Sundays after that, between the 10th and the 31st, we have Picnic in the Park events between 1 p.m. and 3 p.m, where we have a high quality regional band performing in the bandstand. And people can come along, bring a picnic and just enjoy the afternoon.
People's Park's been very expensively done up in the last few years,
Yeah,
hasn't it?
it has,
And that
yeah.
bandstand, I walk past it very often, that bandstand
Yeah.
always looks a bit lonely and empty.
It does. So we try to, make it active really and use it for what it should be used for, which is community enjoyment. And I think if we can programme music into there that people like, so we tend to, put different styles in there. It really, enhances people's enjoyment of summer, and yeah, so we try to use it for what it's meant to be used for.
Your company, Culture House,
Yeah.
that's based here,
Yeah.
and it's what's its purpose? What does it do?
Well, it's an arts organisation, so our mission is to engage local people in arts really, because everybody knows Grimsby is not very cultural. So we try to enhance the cultural offer by programming high quality acts to perform in the region, but also supporting local performers as well. And it just means local people can enjoy, performances of all kinds really that they wouldn't otherwise get to enjoy.
And who pays for it?
Well, a mix, but mainly supported by Arts Council England, who are quite keen to support this area, because it's categorised as an area of low arts engagement. So Arts Council's aware that Grimsby doesn't have much going on, and they're quite keen to support that development.
Why is Grimsby such an area of low arts engagement, as you rather delicately put it? Are we a bunch of Philistines in Grimsby?
Well, there's a lot of talent here, so I don't know. I think there's a lot of talent, but not necessarily good about shouting about themselves. And it's about connecting it up really with the rest of the region and the country. And I think we're just a little bit disconnected. So with what we do, we try to sort of connect up a little bit. And then obviously local people get that chance to perform, but we're also bringing in artists from outside the region.
What would your advice, local artists, you say there's a talent here, even if there's not the audience, people are willing to perform and create culture, create art and express themselves, but nobody will turn up and listen to them or hear them. What would your advice be to people trying to create something here that didn't exist before?
Well, just do it, I think, because I think there's confidence issues as well. But the best thing you can do is just do it, and don't be afraid to get up there, do something and get your friends involved and other musicians or other actors, performers.
The imminent events, I'm sure there are lots more planned, but 3rd of August is coming Sunday, Family Sunday in People's Park. Lots of music there, 11 till 4 o'clock, and the following Sundays throughout August in People's Park as well, 1 to 3 o'clock, live music there.
Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Thanks
Charlotte. Thank you for coming in. That's all we have time for tonight. As usual, the contact details, if you have a story for us, are estuary.tv or via Twitter or Facebook, or give us a call on 01472315561. Until tomorrow, goodbye.